So yeah, I actually I graduated from Harvard in May 2020. And obviously March 2020 was when the lockdown happened. So I came home in March. We all got kicked out and have been home since March 2020. But so my plan was, don't play tournaments, just enjoy my last year or two at college because I think I decided that I want to go pro my third year out of four. So I wanted to just play college squash, like enjoy my last 2 years in America. And then May 2020, when I graduated, that's when I wanted to, put a hard block of summer training in and then begin my PSA tour campaign. But obviously that didn't happen. And I wasn't able to start playing until June of 2021, as you just mentioned. So I just literally spent the year, God, over a year, just training with my coach and as much as I could to get in best possible shape, ready for when the tournaments were going to start. I think I was like 174 or something in the ranking. So, like literally in June, I was struggling to get into 3Ks. I got into a few, I think, because my first one, I remember I wasn't even in the main draw, and then I got lucky that a couple people pulled out, so I made it in. So yeah, so the plan was always to go pro, but and I didn't think it would matter that my ranking would be so low once I started because I thought, oh, I have all the time in the world, but obviously that didn't happen. But it's actually because there've been so many events, I've been able to get my ranking up quite quickly. So yeah. Like I actually my first one was supposed to be in Pontefract, like I think 2 weeks before that. But obviously after a full year of training and being injury free, I'd like injured my shoulder. So I had to pull out of that, the Pontefract one, and then the Sumner Malik one. I was still kind of getting back into it. I was fine by then, but it was still a bit touch and go. So winning that tournament was like a huge relief, really. I remember I was so nervous, like for all of those matches. I think I managed to get through without dropping a game in that first one, but like thinking about myself and seeing, because I think those matches are recorded, watching it back, it's like, oh my God, I was just like so nervous for those. But yeah, once I got the ball rolling a bit, I was able to relax a bit more and kind of play squash rather than just panic. Yeah, it's so exciting. So I've reached out for the wild card for that tournament because I thought it'd be a good opportunity, even though I remember talking to my coach and the draw, it was so strong. Obviously, it was like for a 20K, it was ridiculous. And we were actually debating whether I should go and play or not, because obviously it's a lot of money. And with the COVID restrictions at the time, we weren't sure. But I took a gamble. I wanted to go back to America and see a few of my friends who were going to be there. So I took a gamble, and yeah, it was so cool playing that Washington. I'd never been to Washington before, so the club was amazing. It was organized so well. Obviously had a great string of results leading up to the final, and it was such a cool experience playing Naylor. Obviously I think she was, she's ranked top 15, and just the way she's been playing since I've been watching her when I was at Harvard. I was just excited to get on court with her, and it was one step too far for me, that tournament, but I learned so much, and yeah, all credit to her that day. She didn't put a foot wrong. I love like the physical side of the game. Like I love to train that way and I love to play that way. And obviously, like you said, Naylor and Hania are two of the two players in the top at the top level who kind of do exactly that. Their physicality is one of their biggest strengths. So yeah, those two girls are definitely two players I look up to a lot, and I've learned a lot from watching them play and from even being on court with Naylor. So yeah, definitely I was really excited to play the British Open. I got the wild card for it, and obviously I'd had a good season leading up to it, so I was feeling good. But I'd played like a lot of matches leading up to it. I don't think I'd had like more than a week off or something at that point. So it was definitely a lot. It was busy. And looking back, I'm like upset that I couldn't put in a performance like how I would have hoped. But Siva really like stood up to the occasion on that one, and She had a bit more experience than me at that point at playing at these platinum events, and that really showed. I think she handled her nerves a lot better than I did, and she thoroughly deserved that win. And obviously it was a good match. I think it was a long one. So yeah, but I was just really excited to be, playing at the British Open, and kind of like, yeah, just being around all the top players, because I hadn't really before. I'd had a few matches here and there against some top players. So I'd played SJ a few times. I played Tesney in like the pro squash challenge at St. George's. So I'd been around these top players and I'd had some like good results against them. So I'd kind of believed that I could play at that level, but it's different when you're in a proper match and all that stuff. So I think, yeah, the US Open was big for me, getting that win against Rowan and making the top 16. And then unfortunately I wasn't able to back up that win, but yeah, just every kind of event like that happened in sequence gave me more and more confidence. And it's like if you don't have confidence before stepping onto the court against someone, like there's no point really playing the match, because you've lost before you've already started. So it was all, yeah, everything that kind of led up to that moment gave me a lot of confidence. So yeah. Yeah, definitely, it was so cool. Like I've been watching the Black Ball tournament on SquashTV, and it's just looked amazing on TV, and it is amazing. The club's so good, the hotel was unbelievable. So I was just so excited to be there, and like obviously round after round it just got better and better. I was playing some good squash. I knew my coach texted me like before the tournament saying, I've got a really good feeling about this week, like you've been playing really well, like you can do really well here. So I wanted, like I think I said in an interview, I'm not necessarily satisfied by just winning first round or whatever. I want to, start pushing these top girls, and I'm glad I did. And yeah, I've always wanted to play Shabini, just because obviously she's an absolute legend, and I'd be like a bit, you're a bit starstruck when you see her. So to be on court with her was so cool, and she showed me exactly why she's world number one and the legend that she is. But it was so enjoyable, and yeah, it definitely gives me confidence. I do think, hopefully I'll be able to start challenging those top two girls a bit more and more every time I get to play them. So it was such a cool experience. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't believe really that I'm like hopefully going to be top 20 by January. I mean, I wouldn't, if you asked me 12 months ago, I would not have expected that. But I think, yeah, I mean, my goal ultimately is to do the best that I can, and to get that number one spot. That's like the long-term goal for sure. I think in 12 months I definitely want to be inside the top 10 for sure. So I hope I can be able to do that, but obviously it gets a lot harder to like climb the rankings now at this point, so it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of quite a few more good wins. But yeah, I want to be inside the top 10 and maybe even a bit higher than that in 12 months time.